There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. Very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up, and they had the worst cover-up ever. And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, when they thought about it, because whoever thought of that idea, I think is in big trouble.
He was not a loser. He was a patriot, and the people left behind there were heroes. Really? And I resent.
Are you talking
like
about Hunter? Are you talking about
I'm talking about my son, Bo Biden. You're talking about me.
I don't know Bo. I know Hunter.
Yeah,
Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. It wasn't dishonorably.
Cocaine use, and he didn't have a job until you became vice president. Once you did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe. Did you use the word smart?
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup for my family. They're so innocent. This is soup for my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? Hello? Is this thing on? So, okay, I want to say real quick, I was originally going to, have a guest on, but, we couldn't get it to work. So, we're gonna try again tomorrow, I think, or maybe later today. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. All right, I'm just gonna turn on the impeachment then. Give me a few moments, real quick.
Close this case out today.
All right, y'all. I know, I'm sorry. This morning we had a little bit of technical difficulties, so I'm just going to cover impeachment because I didn't have anything lined up, so it's just like, I'll just cover impeachment. It's fine. So I'm starting at the beginning of the stream. It just started like 10 minutes ago, so we'll catch up to the live very quickly. So yeah.
The Senate will convene as a court of impeachment, and the chaplain, Dr. Barry Black, will lead us in prayer. Shall I have order? Order, and the chaplain will lead us in prayer.
Let us pray. O Lord our God, yesterday this chamber reverberated to a standing ovation for the courage of Officer Eugene Goodman.
Mention Rand
in
Paul.
defending
Mention Rand
freedom
Paul.
and human life.
Mention Rand Paul.
May
Go, go,
our
go.
legislative jurors strive to emulate his courage in their defense of the United States Constitution. Lord, touch and move them to believe that the end does not justify the means. Help them to remember that the end is inherent and built in to the means. Fill our senators with a spirit that combines common sense with commitment, conscience, and courage. We pray in your merciful name. Amen.
Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. No objection. If there's no objection, the journal proceedings of the trial are approved to date, and I'd ask the Sergeant at Arms to make the proclamation.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. All persons are commanded to keep...
For anyone who's just tuning in, again, I was going to do a show with a guest, but we had technical difficulties setting it up. So instead, because I had no show really planned anyway, I'm just going to cover impeachment live. So if, you know, there's shit that normally I would fast forward through, I'm not going to be able to. I don't know if they're just going to... I don't know what's happening. But again, I'm only like 8 minutes behind the lives. I'm just going to scoot it up to 2x, and then we'll get there very soon. So just letting everyone know what's happening today. Again, I'm sorry, but you know, it happens, and we'll see what we got.
Silence on pain of imprisonment while the Senate of the United States is sitting for the trial of the article of impeachment exhibited by the House of Representatives against Donald John Trump, former President of the United States.
And pursuant to the provisions of Senate Resolution 47, the Senate has provided up to 2 hours of argument by the parties.
Like the
equally
stream,
divided
folks.
On the question of whether or not it shall be in order to consider and debate under the impeachment rules any motion to subpoena witnesses or documents. Are both parties ready to proceed at this point? They may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, Senators. Over the last several days, we presented overwhelming evidence that establishes the charges in the article of impeachment. We've shown you how President Trump created a powder keg, lit a match, and then continued his incitement even as he failed to defend us from the ensuing violence. We've supported our position with images, videos, affidavits, documents, tweets, and other evidence, leaving no doubt that the Senate should convict. We believe we've proven our case. But last night, Congresswoman Jamie Herrera Butler of Washington State issued a statement confirming that in the middle of the insurrection, when House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy called the president to beg for help, President Trump responded, and I quote, "Well, Kevin, I guess these people are more upset about the election than you are." Needless to say, this is an additional critical piece of corroborating evidence, further confirming the charges before you, as well as the president's willful...
What are you referring to?
...of duty and desertion of duty as Commander-in-Chief of the United States, his state of mind, and his further incitement of the insurrection on January 6th. For that reason, and because this is the proper time to do so under the resolution that the Senate adopted to set the rules for the trial, we would like the opportunity to subpoena Congresswoman Herrera regarding her communications with House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, and to subpoena her contemporaneous notes that she made regarding what President Trump told Kevin McCarthy in the middle of the insurrection. We would be prepared to proceed by Zoom deposition of an hour or less, just as soon as Congresswoman Herrera Butler is available, and to then proceed to the next phase of the trial, including the introduction of that testimony shortly thereafter. Congresswoman Butler further stated that she hopes other witnesses to this part of the story, other patriots as she put it, would come forward, and if that happens, we would seek the opportunity to take their depositions via Zoom, also for less than an hour, or to subpoena other relevant documents as well.
Okay, so they're actually just calling witnesses then, it seems.
President, thank you. Senators, good morning. And good morning to the American people.
Hello.
The first thing I want to say on the issue of witnesses is that the House manager just got up here and described the articles of impeachment and the charges. There is no plural here. That's wrong. There's one article of impeachment and there's one charge, and that's incitement of violence and insurrection. What you all need to know and the American people need to know is...
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up to the live.
There was a stipulation going around that there weren't going to be any witnesses. But after what happened here in this chamber yesterday, the House managers realized they did not investigate this case before bringing the impeachment. They did not give the proper consideration and
this guy, dude,
work in that was necessary to impeach the former
I'm
president.
going to raise the volume a bit, so.
But if they want to have witnesses...
Let me know if this is too loud.
I'm going to need at least over 100 depositions, not just one. The real issue is incitement. They put into their
100
case
depositions?
over 100 witnesses, people.
Am I going to get free content to stream for like the rest of my life? 100 depositions? Let's get it.
Who have been charged with crimes by the federal government. And each one of those, they said that Mr. Trump was a co-conspirator with. That's not true. But I have the right to defend that. The only thing that I ask, if you vote for witnesses, do not handcuff me by limiting the number of witnesses that I can have. I need to do a thorough investigation that they did not do.
Go, go, go.
I need to do the
There you go.
911 style investigation that Nancy Pelosi called for.
Pelosi?
Should have been done already. It's a dereliction of the House manager's duty.
Uncut
that they
King,
didn't.
2 days in a
And now
row,
at the last
same
minute, after
username.
stipulation had apparently been worked out, they want to go back on that. I think that's inappropriate and improper. We should close this case out today. We have each prepared our closing arguments. I had 8 days to get ready for this thing, but we each had those 8 days equally together to prepare ourselves. And the House managers need to live with the case that they brought. But if they don't, please, in all fairness and in all due process, do not limit
Orange
my
derelict.
ability to discover the truth. That would be another sham. And that's the president's
Sham
position, my
impeachment.
position.
It's a hoax, folks. It's a hoax.
First of all, this is the proper time that we were assigned to talk about witnesses. This is completely within the course of the rules set forth by the Senate. There's nothing remotely unusual about this. I think we've done an exceedingly thorough and comprehensive job with all the evidence that was available last night. This was breaking news, and it responded directly to a question that was being raised by the President's defense counsel, saying that we had not sufficiently proven to their satisfaction, although I think we've proven to the satisfaction of the American people, certainly, that the President, after the breach and invasion took place, was not working on the side of defending the Capitol, but rather was continuing to pursue his political goals. And the information that came out last night by Congresswoman Butler, apparently backed up by contemporaneous notes that she had taken, I think will put to rest any lingering doubts raised by the President's counsel, who now says he wants to interview hundreds of people. There's only one person the President's counsel really needs to interview, and that's their own client. And bring him forward, as we suggested last week, because a lot of this is matters that are in his head. Well, why did he not act to defend the country after he learned of the attack? Why was he continuing to press the political case? But this piece of evidence is relevant.
Branding?
And
This motherfucker's talking about
I
branding?
was a little bit mystified by the point about the article of impeachment, which I referred to.
Animal abuse.
The
Animal
dereliction
abuse.
of duty, the desertion of duty, is built into the incitement charge, obviously. If the President of the United States is out inciting a violent insurrection, he's obviously not doing his job at the same time. Just like if a police officer is mugging you, yeah, he's guilty of theft and armed robbery, whatever it might be, but he's also not doing his job as a police officer, so it's further evidence of his intent and what his conduct is.
This is live.
First of all, it's my understanding, it's been reported
Well,
that Mr.
5
McCarthy
minutes away.
disclaims the rumors that have been the basis of this morning's antics, but really the rumors that have been the basis of this entire proceeding. This entire proceeding is based on rumor, report, innuendo. There's nothing to it, and they didn't do their work. Just like what happened with Mr. Lee 2 or 3 nights ago, some supposed conversation had happened, and they had to withdraw that. They had to back off of that because it was false. It was a false narrative. But it is one article of impeachment. Yeah, they threw a lot of stuff in it in violation of Rule 23. Rule 23 says you cannot combine counts. It's a defect in their entire case. It's one of the 4 reasons why you can vote to acquit in this case. Jurisdiction, Rule 23, due process, and the First Amendment. They all apply in this case.
Amendment! Zero. I might play later, but
Let me take my own advice and cool the temperature in the room a little bit.
I'm just, I'm drinking my coffee. I'm
the
still
incitement.
waking up.
It's not about what happened afterwards. That's actually the irrelevant stuff. That's the irrelevant stuff. It's
Irrelevant.
not the things that were said
Irrelevant,
from the election
y'all.
to January 6th.
Irrelevant.
It's not relevant to the legal analysis of the issues that are before this body. It doesn't matter what happened after the insurgents into the Capitol building, because that doesn't have to do with incitement. Incitement it's a point in time, folks. It's a point in time when the words are spoken and the words say, implicitly say, explicitly say, commit acts of violence or lawlessness. And we don't have that here. So for the House managers to say we need depositions about things that happened after.
What is he holding?
But
what is that? Like a bookmark?
If he does, there are a lot of depositions that need to be happening. Nancy Pelosi's deposition needs to be taken. Vice President Harris's deposition absolutely needs to be taken.
He was thinking, how do I pronounce her name again? Oh,
None
Vice
of these
President
depositions
Harris.
should be done by Zoom. We didn't do this hearing by Zoom. These depositions should be done in person, in my office, in Philadelphia. That's where they should be done.
Philadelphia?
I don't know how many civil lawyers are here, but that's the way it works, folks. When you want somebody's deposition, you send a notice of deposition, and they appear at the place where the notice says. That's civil process. I don't know why you're laughing. It is civil process.
Did they just wait, let me replay that. They were legitimately laughing at him, and now he's triggered. Hold up. Let me just watch this at normal speed. They just laughed at his bitch ass?
That's where they should be done.
They just laughed at his bitch ass!
That's where they should be done.
Oh my god. They just
I don't know how many civil lawyers are here, but that's the way it works, folks.
I can't.
When you want somebody's deposition, you send a notice of deposition, and they appear at the place where the notice says. That's civil process. I don't know why you're laughing. It is civil process.
Why are you laughing?
That is the way lawyers do it. We send notices of deposition. In the notice of...
I would remind everybody We will have order
Yeah.
in
I don't have
the chamber. If you-
Come on, Pat Leahy,
During
you're
these
fucking this
proceedings.
up. You're fucking it up, fucker.
I haven't laughed at any of you. And there's nothing laughable here. He mentioned my client coming in to testify. That is not the way it's done. If he wanted to talk to Donald Trump, he should have put a subpoena down. Like, I'm going to slap subpoenas on a good number of people. If witnesses are what is required here for them to try to get their case back in order, which has failed miserably for 4 reasons. There is no jurisdiction here. There has been no due process here. They have completely violated and ignored and stepped on the Constitution of the United States. They have trampled on it like people who have no respect for it. And if this is about nothing else, it has to be about the respect of our country, our Constitution, and all of the people that make it up.
Motherfucker.
And so that I ask, when considering or voting on this witness matter, and to be clear, this may be the time to do it, but again, and everybody needs to know that the backroom politics, I'm not so much into it all, and I'm not too adept at it neither. But there was a stipulation. They felt pretty comfortable after day 2, until their case was tested on day 3.
What was that? Hold up.
Now
What
is the time
was
to end
that?
it. Their case, but there was a stipulation. They felt pretty comfortable after day 2.
What the fuck?
Stipulation. They felt pretty comfortable after day 2.
That's
Until
a
their
sound
case
drop.
was
Someone
tested
get
on
this.
comfortable after day 2.
This is, come on, someone get this.
There was a stipulation. They felt pretty comfortable after day 2. Until their case
Someone
was
get
tested
that.
on
Someone
day
get that.
3.
Someone has to get that. Please, someone get that.
Now is the time to end this. Now is the time to hear the closing arguments. Now is the time to vote your conscience. Thank you.
Mr. Raskin?
Okay.
We were involved in no discussions about the stipulation, and I have no further comment. Thank you.
Position on that.
What?
I would remind everybody, as Chief Justice Roberts noted on January 21st, 2020, citing the trial of Charles Swain in 1905, all parties in this chamber must refrain from using language that is not conducive to civil discourse. I listened to Chief Justice Roberts say that. I agreed with him, and I thought for our colleagues I would repeat it as I did last night. So the question we have before us is whether it shall be in order to consider and debate under the rules of impeachment any motion to subpoena witnesses or documents. The yeas and nays has been made. Is there a sufficient second? There appears to be. There is. The clerk will call the roll.
Reminder to retweet my stream, y'all.
Mr. Barrasso. Mr. Bennett.
Retweet. That
Blackburn.
was an opinion of
Mr. Blumenthal.
somebody.
Mr. Hahn. Mr. Durbin. Mr. Heinrich. Ms. Lamas. On. Mr. Shar. No. Mr. Menendez.
All right, y'all, we're live.
Mr. Merkley. Mr. Moran.
This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good.
Ms. Murkowski.
If it gets voted down, if like Manchin or Cinema vote this down,
Murphy.
I'll be fucking
Murray.
pissed.
Mr. Ossoff. Mr. Padilla. Mr. Paul. Mr. Peters. Mr. Portman.
Yo, what's up, Patty?
Mr. Reed.
What's up, cat?
Mr. Rish.
What's up, everyone else? I'm not a
Mr.
cat.
Romney.
Collins and
Rosen.
Merck are gonna vote yes. What about Romney?
Mr. Rounds.
Philadelphia. Dude, I can't with Philadelphia.
Mr. Rubio.
Philadelphia?
Mr. Sanders. Mr. Sass. Mr. Schatz. Mr. Schumer. Mr. Scott of Florida. Mr. Scott of South Carolina. Mrs. Shaheen. Mr. Shelby.
Thank you, by the way, to the individual that just
Cinema.
gave me a significant amount of dollars
Smith.
on PayPal.
Ms. Stabenow.
I appreciate you so much.
Mr. Sullivan. Mr. Tester. Mr. Thune.
You can barely hear
Tillis.
these motherfuckers. I just wait for the final vote count.
Mr. Toomey.
Mr. Timmy.
Tuberville.
Tuberville.
Mr. Van Hollen.
They're voting on calling witnesses. Yep.
Warnock. Ms. Warren. Mr. Whitehouse. Mr. Wicker.
I mean, thank you to everyone who gives me insignificant amounts as well. I mean, I just, you know, I don't know how to properly thank people without sounding like a bitch. I'm sorry. You know, my heart, you know, I feel, you know. Thank you. Well, I guess you're welcome for covering the impeachment. More money on PayPal oozing in. Reminder, if you want to ooze into my bank account in any particular fashion, you can do so by giving me money on these links here. PayPal, Cash App, or Patreon. I actually got my Cash App card recently, so bada boom, check that out. Like, they printed Andrea the doggy on my Cash App card. Can you believe it? It's incredible. Hey Paul, what's poppin'? Everything we give you is because we love you. Oh. Philadelphia. I still can't believe, like, fucking on day 2, and then he got laughed at. That motherfucker got laughed at, dude. Reminder, retweet the stream.
That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there.
Senators voting in the affirmative. Baldwin, Bennett, Blumenthal.
Just give us a
Booker,
fucking number.
Brown, Cantwell, Cardin, Carper, Casey, Collins, Coons, Cortez Masto, Duckworth, Durbin, Feinstein, Gillibrand, Hassan, Heinrich, Hickenlooper, Hirono, Kane, Kelly,
Tim Kaine in the membrane.
Hillary examine the terrain. Watch a campaign with the man Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine in the membrane. Tim Kaine in the brain.
That will never not be funny. That will never not be funny.
Rosen, Sanders, Sass, Schatz,
Romney, by the way.
Schumer, Shaheen, Sinema, Smith, Stabenow, Tester, Van Hollen, Warner, Warnock, Warren, Whitehouse, Wyden. Senators voting in the negative.
Who cares?
Barrasso, Blackburn, Blunt, Bozeman, Braun.
Imagine
Burr,
a right-wing Republican
Capito,
is named
Cassidy,
Blunt. What a
Cornyn,
waste.
Cotton, Kramer, Crapo, Cruz, Daines, Ernst.
Thank you for the PayPal
Graham,
cash.
Grassley,
I will, of course, leave the
Hagerty,
VODs up. You can
Hall,
always watch any of my
Hogan,
VODs. I don't
Heidsmith,
take down my live
Inhofe,
streams. So,
Jackson, Kennedy,
you can watch it infinite
Langford,
amount of times.
Lee, Lummis,
You can also rewind right now
Marshall,
and watch
McConnell,
it. So,
Moran,
but thank you.
Paul, Portman, Risch, Rounds, Rubio, Scott of Florida,
Rubio!
Scott of South Carolina, Shelby,
Wait, hold up.
Sullivan, Thune, Tillis, Toomey, Tuberville, Wicker.
When they put Marco on to refute President Obama's speech, do you remember that catastrophe? And he's like this, and we were, I need water, help me, I need water, help. And this is on live television. This total joke artist.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I gotta get this on screen. This is such a classic. This is where I get the help he needs water, by the way. But this is like, oh my god.
It's Rubio. That's what it.
And then he throws the bottle.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Marco on. It's Rubio.
Maxie, what are you doing? Unbelievable.
That's what it. Unbelievable.
Fuck.
Mr. Graham.
Unbelievable. Oh. So classic.
Just a point of inquiry. There's a little confusion here. Was that a vote on one witness or many witnesses?
Debate is not allowed during the vote.
Not debate.
Maxie, be nice.
Just a point of inquiry on what we just voted on.
That is, I'm advised that is not.
Shouldn't you ask what the inquiry, like, shouldn't you, like, inquire before you vote? It's like, yeah, I know I just voted, but what did I vote on? Like, what? Like, is this guy like, oh, yeah, I mean, I just voted, right? But, like, I don't, what did I just vote for? What did I just vote for? What? I didn't even realize this wasn't all the way up. My apologies. It's Rubio! It's such a classic.
The point of order and debate are not allowed during the vote. That is established Senate procedure that we always follow.
Looks like next week I get to stream all day, every day again. Can't wait. It's Rubio! I'm sorry, it's just... I would love to see Trump lean into the mic. I won this election by a lot. It's just, I can't wait for him to do that. That's like my headcanon. Look at Rand Paul. Maskless Rand Paul. Look at this guy. This guy's leaning over the desk. He's about to like jump over. Like come out with a fucking steel chair. Jesus Christ. It's a classic. It's such a classic, Bob. That's why I have the sound drop. Help, I need water. Cruz's lesbian haircut? Nope. I love how the captions are just like inaudible. Inaudible.
I know.
Alright, y'all, we're catching up. Very colorful. Thank you, thank you. There you go. I like to wear colorful clothing. It makes me happy.
On the question of whether it shall be in order to consider and debate under the rules of impeachment any motion to subpoena witnesses or document, the motion is agreed to by vote of 55 to 45. Majority Leader.
Mr. President,
Majority
I
Leader.
suggest the absence of a quorum.
Clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Baldwin.
Wait, are we getting quorum? Wait.
Vote of 55 to 45. Majority Leader.
Mr. President,
Majority
I
Leader.
suggest the absence of a quorum.
Absence
Clerk will call
of a
the roll.
quorum?
Ms. Baldwin.
What is an absence of a quorum? What does that mean? Is that just a quorum call? I don't know. I'm still learning all the... Max, what do you need? Do you have to pee again already? I just took you out like 40 minutes ago. Are you barking at the neighbors? What are you doing? You're an uncontrollable hound. Look at this hound. This is uncontrollable. Oh, you're hurting my leg. My leg! You're an uncontrollable hound, Max. You're a hound.
The Senate now in a quorum call. You heard the majority leader just a moment ago say that after a vote of 55 to 45 to call witnesses in the Senate impeachment trial. We came in today, by all reporting, that they would go to closing arguments and then there would be a final vote. After last night's reporting by CNN's Jamie Gangal that
Sour Girl's my
phone
favorite
call
STP
between
song.
The Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy and the President, her statement by Congresswoman Herrera Butler has now put the proceedings up in the air as they have approved witnesses. Now, you may have heard 5 Republicans vote for calling witnesses. It included Senators Romney, Collins, Murkowski, and Sass, and then Senator Lindsey Graham at the end changing his vote to yes. Why? Because he said in a tweet this morning before 10 o'clock, if you want to delay, it will be a long one with many, many witnesses. Let's watch.
Maxie the doggy. Max. Oh. Maxie. Are you talking about other dogs? This is my only dog. I live with other dogs, but they live in other people's chambers, so they're not technically my dogs. You know what I mean? Oh, look at the doggy. Look at the dog. Look at the doggy. Look at the doggy. Oh. You're sneezy. Oh. What the fuck? What are you doing? What are you barking at, you fucking freak? You see this? You see this dog? Max! They bark whenever someone opens a door in the house. So, if other people are opening, let's say, the front door, a bedroom door, if a door is opened in any capacity, and Max can hear it, it's over. It's done. Max is not having that.
They felt pretty comfortable after day 2.
Oh my God.
In person, in my office, in Philadelphia.
How's the volume, by the way? Like, I might need to, like, request louder volume. Hold up. Like, my thing is, like, I usually pump the volume in my clips because that way it can play over the Supernova intro song.
They felt pretty comfortable after day 2. They...
Oh. So I might need to request like a slight boost on audio just so that it works with the intro. Because I like to fucking pump that shit into your brain. No, but here's the thing. I've got a gain filter on right now. Because C-SPAN has low audio, so I've got a gain filter on. So, normally I don't have that during the intro because it crunches the audio a bit. So, what are we doing? We're getting a quorum call. But, okay, my problem is, what is a quorum call? That's where all do they need Kamala Harris? Is that what that's supposed to mean? Because they just have 55 to 45, so is a quorum call just getting the vice president in the House? I'm so confused. It's similar to a booty call. I could go for a booty call. I'll take it. It's a time waster. Okay. So then what are they doing? like are they just like, what is happening right now? I just don't understand. Hey Thorn, good morning. I'm just so confused about this shit. Paul, did it ever occur to anyone that, like Tulsi, Nico is transphobic? I mean, he was directly transphobic to my face in our one debate. Our 1 out of 2 debates. 1 out of 2 scheduled debates, I should say. The thing is, Paul, like, if you're referencing all the Twitter drama, right, the thing about that is that these people are deeply unserious, right? You've got a coalition of Holocaust deniers and out-and-out racists, sexual harassers, sexual abusers, sex pests, you've got transphobes, you've got homophobes, and they all unanimously agree that January 6th was no big deal. Who cares about January 6th? Yet, somehow, right? My fucking 4chan post when I was a fucking teenager, somehow that's the most important story in the world. Like, these people are willing to ally with out-and-out white supremacists, ally with Nazis that have millions of followers. They're willing to ally with transphobic politicians. But somehow, some podcaster with, how many viewers do I have? Like fucking 60? 85 viewers. Some podcaster with 85 viewers online is somehow such a threat to these people's, like, brand, I guess. I don't know, that they're just, like, trying to... It's bizarre to me. It's bizarre. Like, if, like, I get some people in my mentions that are well-meaning individuals that are trying to cancel me because they think I'm some evil doer or something. You know what? They've been lied to. I get it. I understand their point, right? And I'm not, you know, I'm not here to, you know, I'm not downplaying anything. Obviously, what I said when I was a teenager was abhorrent, right? But again, these people are defending murderers, right? These people are defending rapists, right? Like, it's just like, it's bizarre to me that you can, on one hand, say rapists can be rehabilitated, but a teenager edge posting on 4chan is somehow beyond the pale. To me, it is bizarre. So I don't take any of them seriously. As far as I'm concerned, like, the reason I'm not making videos about it is just because I don't want them to fucking, like, I don't want to feed into it that much. Like, I'll make a video about, like, Glenn Greenwald, right? And I'm still, you know, he hasn't emailed me. He said 3 days ago, oh, I'm sorry, you know, sometimes I forget to respond to emails. He still hasn't emailed me. So I might make a video about Glenn Greenwald, right? But I'm not, like, I don't feel like making videos about these people because, like, they're irrelevant. It's, like, they're irrelevant, right? And then there's these people on Twitter, right? Like, and there's these people that's like, oh, this person made a whole video about me. I never made a whole, like, I have no idea what they're talking about. Like, they might have been, like, a screenshot in, like, a cringe compilation that I mentioned for, like, 30 seconds. But somehow that turns into, oh, this person is slandering me, making whole video. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, these people are so irrelevant, so insecure, and just, again, at the end of the day, fucking stupid. They're fucking stupid. Like that, you know, again, I don't want to name names, but there's this guy, right, that said, like,
the U.S. Senate in a quorum call right now.
I don't need to, but there's this guy, I'm not going to name their name. If you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. That was like, oh, this person is a racist. They are dedicated to harassing me. And it's like, right, someone sends me that tweet, and I'm like, who is this? Like, I've never heard of this person before in my life. But they, like, post on Twitter, oh, this person's been harassing me and trying to trash my show. Dude, what show? I don't know who you are. Right? I'm like, I'm some dumb fucking idiot in her bedroom with 80 viewers. Why are these podcasters that get hundreds of viewers trying to cancel me? It's bizarre. I don't know who they are. I don't know who they are. Like, but again, it's just, I don't know, man. It's shocking to me. It's shocking to me. And as far as I'm concerned, I feel like it's a coordinated smear campaign. I feel like I feel like they see that there's a potential in my show. I feel like they see that what I'm saying is truthful. I feel like they see that what I'm saying has merit. Right? And they want to stop my growth at all costs. That's what it seems like to me. Right? And then also, again, Nico House is directly transphobic. Right? He lies about Tulsi Gabbard's record on trans issues and then says that I have to worship her. Right? You know, like, I'm sorry, but if you're standing a guy that works with a neo-Nazi on a film for millions of viewers, but somehow me posting shit on 4chan and Twitter that nobody saw contemporaneously, right? The only reason why these tweets even surfaced is because people searched my account years later, right? So it's like, yes, obviously what I said was disgusting. And I'm not defending it in any capacity. But you gotta be honest. Right? Like, nobody saw that. Whereas Nico House made a movie with Jack Posobiec, who has millions of followers. A movie that had millions of views. So, okay, random shitty garbage tweets that 3 people may have saw versus a movie about BLM being terrorists that millions of people saw. I wonder what the net impact on that is. You know what I mean? So again, these people are just fucking ridiculous. They're fucking ridiculous. And again, I'm not giving them any room on my show. I mean, we're just waiting for a quorum call here or whatever. Right? But I'm not going to give them any room. I'm not going to give them any, like, you know, space to, like, you know, kind of grow their colonization in my, like, the bacteria in my microphone, you know? Dude, Nico House, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks, not 2 years, not 2 decades, 2 weeks ago, said that Proud Boys and Antifa are the same. In fact, I got the clip. This guy, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
The founder of the Proud Boys is a Fed. I don't think anybody was surprised by that at all.
2 weeks.
He looks like a narc. I mean, the Proud Boys, I've been saying for a while, they're clearly the same thing as Antifa. Like, Antifa and Proud Boys just came up out of nowhere with Trump. And we're going to talk
2 weeks ago, this guy is saying the far left and the far right are the same. 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry, but when it comes to net impact, I'm sorry, right? Again, these people are fucking ludicrous.
They felt pretty comfortable after day 2. They felt pretty
You sent me the same clip twice. Uncut King, I'm sorry, you're canceled. You sent me the same clip twice.
comfortable after day 2.
It's good though. It's so good. Holy shit. You're authentic, bold, and smart. It resonates with every authentic person who manages to find you. Nico is anything but authentic other than being authentically disingenuous. I agree with that. Hey Jenna, what's poppin'? JL, $5. Nico and his clowns are still claiming to be left. I know, right? Again, the only reason I'm even talking about this is because, you know, there's nothing else to talk about right now. But again, these people, I just, like, it's shocking to me. It's like Glenn Greenwald. Glenn, like, a guy with 1.5 million Twitter followers is hopping in on these smear campaigns against me. Glenn fucking Greenwald. Right? Like, these people with like 50,000 followers are trying to destroy my bitch ass, right? I've got, like, nobody cares about my show. Right? So it's just, it's fascinating. It is fascinating. Any follow-up? He said he would respond to my email. No response. So what I'm assuming is that he is trying to cancel me or say that because I used to use 4chan and I used to be an edgelord fucking piece of garbage when I was a teenager, I'm assuming that he's trying to bail on our debate. Meanwhile, you know what? Let me play this clip. Hold on. Meanwhile, Glenn Greenwald, right? I found this clip literally this morning, so I haven't, like, actually listened to the whole thing. Glenn Greenwald this morning is talking about 4chan.
And some of them are going to say and do bad things. So there is no social media platform on the planet where you don't find racist or misogynistic or xenophobic or homophobic or transphobic sentiments, where we're human beings, we're tribal, we have biases, we have prejudices. Sometimes it's being done.
So Glenn Greenwald will bail on a debate with me, right? With no thought in the world, just run away like a child from talking to me. And then a couple days later goes on his show and says, oh yeah, there's racists out there. They're no big deal. What?
Reasons unrelated to a genuine belief in those. Maybe people use that to vent their frustrations with their lives or their work or their family or whatever.
So, and I just want to say, I agree with that sentiment. Now, I disagree with the context around why he's saying that. Right? He's trying to downplay January 6th and downplay, like, the alt-right pipeline. So I disagree with the context around that. But I do agree that a lot of this comes and stems from material conditions. But this guy is willing to use these smear campaigns against me and then go on another show and just say, oh yeah, these people are no big deal.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
I'm sorry, it's just I can't with that. Yes, above it all, greatest hits. It's just like these people are so deeply and fundamentally unserious. I'm sorry, it's just, it's ridiculous. It's fucking ludicrous. Shit, Sophia, you gotta realize, the same time every day, doesn't matter if you get a notification.
Senator Patrick Leahy is still in, again, the U.S. Senate in a holding pattern right here. You can see the presiding officer, Senator Patrick Leahy, is still in his seat. Looks like the lead House manager, Jamie Raskin, is also in his seat. Unclear what is happening behind the scenes right now as senators voted 55 to 45 to call witnesses in this trial. Jake Sherman is reporting for Punchbowl News that Republican senators Cornyn, Thune, and Portman are now huddling in Thune's office right now. He also reported earlier that Senate procedure in this trial is as follows. Once witnesses pass, there will be a separate resolution on who to subpoena, etc. This is Section 7B of the resolution governing this trial. So the key question is, and you heard it from a senator there at the end of that vote, is how many witnesses will be called? We'll continue to watch here on C-SPAN 2.
As I've said before, Greenwald began his legal career intimidating and silencing tobacco industry whistleblowers. He's not who... I didn't know that, yeah, but, like, I also was sent that he, like, destroyed someone's life and, like, got them fired from the New York Times and they became homeless. And Glenn Greenwald recently elevated this bizarre... And, you know, again, there's nothing else to talk about right now, and this is the subject, but... Glenn Greenwald posted on his account some bizarre conspiracy theory about some random Twitter user pretending to be a woman of color. And this bizarre, like, conspiracy theory that this random Twitter user has a similar last name to a Nazi that's a very common German, like, last name. So, like, this dumb motherfucker on Twitter tweets out a blatant smear campaign against some dude that has, like, 3,000 Twitter followers. And Glenn Greenwald boosts it. There's no evidence. And now this guy's got, like, millions of neo-Nazis harassing him. And I barely even know this guy, right? But it's like, the idea that Glenn Greenwald is so concerned with downplaying January 6th, downplaying the events at the Capitol, downplaying the alt-right pipeline. But when someone says, oh, this random Twitter user has a similar last name,
the Senate is in a quorum,
right? It's all of a
call.
sudden,
That
it's the
means
most
there
important
is
thing in the world.
Negotiations, discussions happening behind the scenes as we wait to see what happens next. The Senate voted 55 to 45 to call witnesses. Paul Kane of the Washington Post tweets out, re-upping this a second time this morning in light of a vote to call witnesses. He says the likely path now would be to form a special trial committee, a small subset of senators to handle depositions and any legal challenges while the Senate goes about the rest of its business. We're all waiting to see what happens next. Live coverage here on C-SPAN 2.
I'm gonna go pee real quick, so I'll be right back. I'm gonna let this play. Let me know if anything happens, just, and again, I don't want to spend the whole day talking about stupid dumb fucks on Twitter, but if y'all want to continue, I mean, there's nothing else to talk about. Re-upping, like, when you get more weed? Hell yes, hell yes. Anyway, I'll be right back. Max, you're a barky doggy. You're a barky doggy. Barky, barky, barky. You're a barky doggy.
while we wait for the Senate to come out of this quorum call, we want to show you why they are in it in the first place. This morning, the House impeachment managers decided to call witnesses. We want to show you that debate, how it all happened right here on C-SPAN 2 while they continue to wait in this quorum call for what happens next.
Over the last several days, we presented overwhelming evidence that establishes the charges in the article of impeachment. We've shown you how President Trump created a powder keg, lit a match, and then continued his incitement even as he failed to defend us from the ensuing violence. We've supported our position with images, videos, affidavits, documents, tweets, and other evidence, leaving no doubt that the Senate should convict. We believe we've proven our case. But last night, Congresswoman Jamie Herrera Butler of Washington State issued a statement confirming that in the middle of the insurrection, when House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy called the president to beg for help, President Trump responded, and I quote, "Well, Kevin, I guess these people are more upset about the election than you are." Needless to say, this is an additional critical piece of corroborating evidence, further confirming the charges before you, as well as the president's willful dereliction of duty and desertion of duty as Commander-in-Chief of the United States, his state of mind, and his further incitement of the insurrection on January 6th. For that reason, and because this is the proper time to do so under the resolution that the Senate adopted to set the rules for the trial, we would like the opportunity to subpoena Congresswoman Herrera regarding her communications with House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, and to subpoena her contemporaneous notes that she made regarding what President Trump told Kevin McCarthy in the middle of the insurrection. We would be prepared to proceed by Zoom deposition of an hour or less, just as soon as Congresswoman Herrera Butler is available, and to then proceed to the next phase of the trial, including the introduction of that testimony shortly thereafter. Congresswoman Butler further stated that she
I just want to say on the subject of, these bizarre smear campaigns against me. It's interesting that 100% of these people happen to be cis, happen to be mostly men, like a good 95% of these people. So I'm just saying it's interesting. It's an interesting thing to note. It's very curious.
This part of the story, other patriots, as she put it, would come forward, and if that happens, we would seek the opportunity to take their depositions via Zoom, also for less than an hour, or to subpoena other documents as well.
Thank you. Senators, good morning, and good morning to the American people. The first thing I want to say on the issue of witnesses is that the House manager just got up here and described the articles of impeachment and the charges. There is no plural here. That's wrong. There's one article of impeachment.
It's Rubio!
And that's incitement of violence and insurrection. What you all need to know and the American people need to know is, as of late yesterday afternoon, there was a stipulation going around that there weren't going to be any witnesses. But after what happened here in this chamber yesterday, the House managers realized they did not investigate this case before bringing the impeachment. They did not give the proper consideration and work. They didn't put the work in that was necessary.
This is one of the other reasons that I think that these people are coming after me, is because I am not a team player, right? Like, I don't know any of these people, right? Like, that's, like, whereas all these people have probably known each other for years and years and years, right? I don't know any of these people. They don't know me. I don't know them. So as far as I'm aware, right? I feel like they're coming after me because I'm an outcast, right? You don't see me going on other people's shows all that often. You don't see me, like, I'll go when I'm invited, but, But, it's again, I think that these people just see me as an easy target. And it's just anger porn. Like, that's all it is. This is just a way to rile people up and get angry at people that, that you have no reason to be angry at. Hello, Sonic.
After a stipulation had apparently been worked out.
That's what I'm saying, Mila.
I think that's...
It is extraordinarily interesting.
In person, in my office, in Philadelphia. We have each prepared our closing arguments. I had 8 days to get ready for this thing. We each had those 8 days equally together to prepare ourselves. And the House managers need to live with the case that they brought. But if they don't, please, in all fairness and in all due process, do not limit my ability to discover the truth. That would be another sham. And that's the president's position.
I'm not necessarily interested in building a crew, to be honest. I would definitely say not to call people sissies. Above it all, greatest hits. I'm just gonna be 100% right now. I mean, like, you've been saying a lot of very questionable stuff. I get it, you're an excited person, but try to think a little bit more. I'm just saying. Bye-bye, Sonic.
Exceedingly thorough and comprehensive job with all the evidence that was available last night. This was breaking news, and it responded directly to a question that was being raised by the President's Defense Counsel, saying that we had not sufficiently proven to their satisfaction.
So this video was sent to me. Apparently this is what's being referenced.
This is critical insight into Donald Trump. What we're learning speaks to his continued desire to delay and to try to prevent the election results from being counted. Now, we previously knew that there was a phone call that took place on January 6th between Trump and Kevin McCarthy, when McCarthy called Trump, pleading for him to stop the rioters. I've spoken to multiple Republican members of the House who have knowledge of that call, who tell us that after Trump tried to say to Kevin, these are not my people, it's Antifa, Kevin McCarthy said to Trump, no, it's not Antifa, these are your people. And here are the new details. After he said that, Trump said to McCarthy, quote, quote, well, Kevin, I guess these people are more upset about the election than you are. To which McCarthy responded, who the F do you think you're talking to? CNN confirmed this exchange, Wolf, with Republican Congresswoman Jamie Herrera Butler of Washington, who was briefed on the call directly, firsthand, by Kevin McCarthy on January 10th. These, quote, well, Kevin, I guess these people are more upset about the election than you are. To which McCarthy responded, who the F do you think you're talking to? CNN confirmed this exchange, Wolf, with Republican Congresswoman Jamie Herrera Butler of Washington, who was briefed on the call directly, firsthand, by Kevin McCarthy on January 10th. The Congresswoman told us she took careful notes on the call, as she has been doing since the insurrection happened and throughout the impeachment proceedings. She's been keeping really copious notes. We're also told by several other Republican members that Kevin McCarthy wasn't shy about this heated exchange with Trump, that he wanted his members to know about it. And Congresswoman Herrera Butler says Trump's comments to Kevin McCarthy speak to his state of mind that day and explain why she voted to impeach. This is what she told us, quote, you have to look at what he did, Trump did, during the insurrection to confirm where his mind was at. That line right there demonstrates to me that either he didn't care, which is impeachable, because you cannot allow an attack on your soil, or he wanted it to happen and was okay with it, which makes me so angry. We should never stand for that for any reason under any party flag. I'm trying really hard not to say the F word. Wolf?
This is really powerful information, Jamie, that you're getting. You've also learned a number of other Republican members of Congress also feel that...
That's crazy.
It's been reported that...
That's crazy.
Mr. McCarthy disclaims the
wow.
rumors that have been the basis of this morning's antics, but really the rumors...
It's all good, but I'm just, you know,
this entire
watching out for everyone here.
This entire proceeding is based on rumor, report, innuendo. There's nothing to it, and they didn't do their work. Just like what happened with Mr. Lee 2 or 3 nights ago, some supposed conversation had happened, and they had to withdraw that. They had to back off of that because it was false. It was a false narrative.
False.
But it is one article of impeachment. Yeah, they threw a lot of stuff in it in violation of Rule 23. Rule 23.
That came out yesterday night, I guess.
You cannot combine counts. It's a defect in their entire case. It's one of the 4 reasons why you can vote to acquit in this case.
But yeah, again, I just want to say, like, I don't care about these people. They mean nothing to me. Like, my show is about delivering news and covering events, you know? So it's like, I don't really give a fuck about these, like, professional pontificators. You know what I mean?
Let me take my own advice and cool the temperature in the room a little bit.
Let me take my own advice. Let me take my own advice.
It's about the incitement.
They felt pretty comfortable after day 2.
Afterwards, that's actually the irrelevant stuff.
Fuck me.
That's the irrelevant stuff. It's not the things that were said from the election to January 6th.
Do I have the video? No, I do not.
The legal analysis.
of the issues that are before this body. It doesn't matter what happened after the insurgents into the Capitol building, because that doesn't have to do with incitement. Incitement it's a point in time, folks. It's a point in time when the words are spoken and the words say, implicitly say, explicitly say, commit acts of violence or lawlessness. And we don't have that here. So for the House managers to say we need depositions about things that happened after, it's just not true. But if he does, there are a lot of depositions that need to be happened. Nancy Pelosi's deposition needs to be taken. Vice President Harris's deposition absolutely needs to be taken. And not by Zoom.
Here we go.
None of these depositions
Here we go.
should be done by Zoom.
Here we go.
We didn't do this hearing by Zoom. These depositions should be done in person, in my office, in Philadelphia. That's where they should be done. I don't know how many civil lawyers are here, but that's the way it works, folks. When you want somebody's deposition, you send a notice of deposition, and they appear at the place where the notice says. That's civil process. I don't know why you're laughing. It is civil process. That is the way.
Uncut King, do you have like the laugh track in the Philadelphia clip? Because like I think you should extend it with the laugh track.
In person, in my office, in Philadelphia.
Yeah, you gotta have the laugh track in there at the end, buddy. You gotta get that in there. It's crucial.
Lawyers do it.
It's crucial.
We send notices of deposition. In the notice of...
That is crucial.
We will have order in the chamber during these proceedings.
How's this morning vibe? I'm feeling fucking phenomenal. So, pretty good.
Nothing laughable here. He mentioned my
so demanding. No.
That is not the way it's done. If he
Stop.
wanted to talk
Stop
to Donald
it.
Trump, he should have put a subpoena down. Like, I'm going to slap subpoenas on a good number of people.
I'm going to slap
if witnesses
the
are what
video editing
minds. To try
minds.
to get their case back in order, which has failed miserably for 4 reasons. There is no jurisdiction.
It should take like fucking 45 seconds maximum,
due
dude.
process here. They have completely
Constitutional cancel
and ignored
culture.
and stepped on
Stepped
the
on.
Constitution of the United States. They have trampled on it like people who have no respect for it. And if this is about nothing else, it has to be about the respect of our country, our Constitution, and all of the people.
I think Greenwald is actually bothered by being perceived as feeding into dogma against trans people, and that's why he responded. Those who admire him and see the world in oversimplified ways would benefit from seeing him in a respectful interaction with you, and he may benefit from seeing someone of the vitriol coming from certain sections of his family. Yeah, I agree with that. But again, he's not going to actually have the conversation with me. He's not going to actually have like a 30-minute, hour-long conversation with me about the subject where I get to ask him, like, you know, exactly why he thinks certain things, you know, etc. He just wants to have the appearance that he cares. He doesn't actually give a fuck. He wants people to think he gives a fuck. Right? So that's kind of the key thing you need to understand here.
Thank
you. Yeah, there's going to be some bacteria in that microphone, let me tell you. Call me the Constitution and step on me. I second that.
Discussions about the stipulation.
They have stomped on my balls and dick, and I enjoyed it. Hell yes. Same.
Position on that.
Tim Payne laugh track? What?
I would remind remind everybody, as Chief Justice Roberts
Are you referencing Tim Kaine and the membrane?
2020.
Watch Hillary examine the terrain. Watch a campaign with the man Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine in the membrane. Tim Kaine in the brain.
I listened to Chief Justice Roberts say that. I agreed with him, and I thought for our colleagues I would repeat it as I did last night.
So it is legendary cringe. I will be. That's in my drop folder for the rest of my life for sure. That's the first song you hear when you enter hell. I wish there was like a complete version, but unfortunately, I don't think there is.
In order to consider and debate under the rules of impeachment, any motion to subpoena.
I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea what's happening. I'm just streaming. I was originally going to do an interview and discussion today, but you know, we had technical difficulties, so we're just going to do that later. So I'm just covering impeachment, and this is people wonder why do you cover impeachment 2 hours late? I get emails from people. Where are you? Where's the impeachment? This is why I start 2 hours late typically. This is why, because then we can just skip this shit. You know what I mean? But no. Y'all were demanding. Y'all were demanding that I cover impeachment. Y'all were telling me, if this bitch doesn't cover impeachment, I'm gonna unsubscribe. I had people threaten my livelihood over this impeachment. And here we are. You got what you wanted. Here's your impeachment. I'm sorry. I'm gonna crack open a box of Questies. We got chocolate ass, motherfucking ass, peanut ass, bitchin' ass butter.
Impeachment managers, Representative Castro, also in the cloakroom. Senators were seen maskless. He says Loomis, Bozeman, and Toomey. You can see the discussions happening on the Senate floor right now. The minority leader, Mitch McConnell, there talking to senators. We will sit and watch as we wait to see what happens next.
I open these bitches like Yu-Gi-Oh booster boxes. I open these bitches like booster boxes, let me just tell you. This will be my brekkie. Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh booster boxes, reminder, I've got some motherfucking booster boxes. We got Rise of Destiny. We got Starter Deck Pegasus First Edition. We got Premium Pack. We got Labyrinth of Nightmare. We got Magic Ruler, motherfucker. Love me some booster boxes. I did bring enough for the whole class. I've got like 70 bars right here. How many fucking viewers do I have? 100? What the fuck? I guess I don't have enough for the whole class, so some of y'all are gonna have to go on a hunger strike. Why do I have 100 viewers watching me watch nothing? What is wrong with you people? What the hell? Lemon cake is so good.
Again, we're watching the U.S. Senate floor. They are in a quorum call, which means a holding pattern as negotiations are underway as to what happens next after witnesses have been approved for this Senate impeachment trial against former President Donald Trump.
I got these leggings $5 on Black Friday. $5. Can you imagine getting such beautiful attire for $5? Unbelievable.
To Mitt Romney and was upset with him, even pointing at him once. Johnson was visibly upset. Mitt Romney Ron Johnson, a Republican of Wisconsin, turned to Mitt Romney and was upset with him, even pointing at him once. Johnson was visibly upset. Mitt Romney, one of the 5 Republican senators who voted to approve witnesses. Happening now on the Senate floor, you can see the minority leader at the bottom of your screen. There he is, talking to Republican senators. as
Did they just do a
all wait
live
to
Zoom
see
in?
what happens next.
You want to send me masks? The leggings are hot. I know. But of course the leggings aren't hot. It's me that's hot. Come on. I have not gotten a P.O. box yet. Next time I go to the post office, I will. 51 likes? Motherfucker. Like this or dislike it. You can dislike it. As long as you make an action in some capacity. Oh my God, Antifa.
The Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has left the floor in his conversations with senators. Negotiations are happening behind the scenes as to what happens next here after witnesses have been called in this impeachment trial. John Santucci, who reports for ABC News, tweets out that sources close to former President Donald Trump are floored by what just happened. Quote, stunned, stupefied, digesting this are the words that he and others are hearing from sources close to the president. We want to bring you back to the moment this morning when the Senate resumed this impeachment trial and the House impeachment manager, led by Jamie Raskin, called for witnesses.
Over the last several days, we presented overwhelming evidence that establishes the charges in the article of impeachment. We've shown you how President Trump created a powder keg, lit a match, and then continued his incitement even as he failed to defend us from the ensuing violence. We've supported our position with images, videos, affidavits, documents, tweets, and other evidence, leaving no doubt that the Senate should convict. We believe we've proven our
They
case.
called witnesses, yeah.
But last night,
so now they're
Congresswoman
discussing
Jamie
how to
Herrera
go about
Butler
it.
of Washington State issued a statement confirming that in the middle of the insurrection,
So right now these people are just
when
like
House
damage
Minority
controlling.
Leader Kevin McCarthy called the president to beg for help, President Trump responded, and I quote, "Well, Kevin, I guess these people are more upset about the election than you are." Needless to say, this is an additional critical piece of corroborating evidence, further confirming the charges before you, as well as the president's willful dereliction of duty and desertion of duty as Commander-in-Chief of the United States, his state of mind, and his further incitement of the insurrection on January 6th. For that reason, and because this is the proper time to do so under the resolution that the Senate adopted to set the rules for the trial, we would
When they put Marco on to refute President Obama's speech, do you remember that catastrophe? When they put Marco on to refute President Obama's speech, do you remember that catastrophe? And he's like this, and we were, I need water, help me, I need water, help. And this is on live television. this total joke artist. It's Rubio. That's what it. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I will never not be.
President, thank you. Senators,
That
good
was
morning.
January 6th. Will
And
D?
good morning to the American people. The first thing I want to say on the issue of witnesses is that the House manager just got up here and described the articles of impeachment and the charges.
Unbelievable.
There is no plural here. That's wrong. There's one article of impeachment and there's one charge, and that's incitement of violence and insurrection. What you all need to know and the American people need to know is, as of late yesterday afternoon, there was a stipulation going around that there weren't going to be any witnesses. But after what happened here in this chamber yesterday, the House managers realized they did not investigate this case before bringing the impeachment. They did not give the proper consideration and work. They didn't put the work in that was necessary to impeach the former president. But if they want to have witnesses, I'm going to need at least over 100 depositions.
Oh my God.
Not just one. The real issue is
I
incitement.
love how Republicans are like pretending. I just like, they're pretending to play hardball. They're like, oh yeah? You want a witness? Well, guess what? I'm gonna get my mom and mother-in-law down here, and we're gonna talk about what she packed me for lunch that day, because this is unconstitutional. This is constitutional cancel culture.
True. But I have the right to defend that. The only thing that I ask, if you vote for witnesses, do not hand
in person, in my office, in Philadelphia. That's where they should be done.
I love the laugh track. Oh, that's amazing.
They felt pretty comfortable after day 2.
Oh.
Should have been done already. It's a dereliction of the House manager's duty.
Yeah, Lucy, it's been up for the last week now.
And now at the last minute, after a stipulation had apparently been worked out, they want to go back on that. I think that's inappropriate and improper. We should close this case out today. We have each prepared our closing arguments. We each, I had 8 days to get
I got demonized.
But we each had those 8 days equally.
By the way, does anyone know if Nico House got de-demonized or if Convo Couch got de-demonized? Because now that I think about it, that might be one of the reasons why they're trying to come after me again.
They don't, please.
What's up with the audio? It's just low because it's a replay.
Due process.
But like, I'm wondering if me getting de-demonized has anything to do with these people trying to harass the shit out of me, like a renewed interest in harassing me. Because they kind of like gave up for a month, and then this has like been happening again over the last couple days. So it's just like, I don't know. It seems like convenient timing to me. I'm just saying. Just saying. I don't know who Graham Elwood is. I keep seeing that name around, but I've never heard of them outside of this context.
Mr. President, first of all, this is the proper time that we were assigned to talk about witnesses. This is completely within the course of the rules set forth by the Senate. There's nothing remotely unusual about this. I think we've done.
I think they are because
with all the evidence that was available last
I don't know. Maybe I've got my tinfoil hat on. I don't know. It could just be that they're dumb as shit. But this is my thing. It's like I always like try to understand how humans behave. You know. Like, I'm always out there trying to understand what's going on. Main character syndrome! I've fallen victim! No!
Side of defending the Capitol, but rather was continuing to pursue his political goals. And the information that came out last night by Congresswoman Butler, apparently backed up by contemporaneous notes that she had taken, I think will put to rest any lingering doubts raised by the President's counsel.
A shitty comedian who used to tour with Doug Benson? I don't know who that
There's
is.
only one person the President's counsel really needs to interview, and that's their own client. And bring him forward as we suggested.
I don't know if I'm willing to speculate on why certain people got demonized and then not de-demonized. And yes, I'm specifically using Mimi terms when I discuss this for a reason. But I just think that it's not worth really speculating over, in my estimation. They want to subpoena Pence? Where'd you get that info from?
Article of impeachment, which I referred to. The dereliction of duty, the desertion of duty, is built into the incitement charge. Obviously, if the President of the United States is out inciting,
If anyone wondering what this stain is on my leggings, I sneezed. Before, you know, the stream started, I sneezed all over myself. It might have been yesterday.
And armed robbery, whatever.
I was laying down and I just sneezed and it got all over the place, so I should probably, you know, try to wipe it off, but, you know, I just noticed that there's, like, you know, that kind of shit. So.
First of all, it's my understanding it's been reported.
It's been reported.
Mr. McCarthy disclaims the rumors that have been the basis of this morning's antics, but really the rumors that have been the basis of this entire.
Just saying.
This entire.
This right here is just a logo of the company. So, all right, there you go. Has it been removed?
Just like
Still visible on webcam, but I can't even see it.
3 nights ago,
it's incredible.
Some supposed conversation had happened,
there we go.
And they had to withdraw that. They had to
withdraw. False. There you go. There you go.
But it is one article of impeachment. Yeah, they threw a lot of stuff in it in violation of Rule 23. Rule 23 says you cannot combine counts. It's a defect in their entire case. It's one of the 4 reasons why you can.
Don't spit on. It worked.
In this case,
I'm allowed to spit on myself. If I'm allowed to sneeze on myself, I can spit on myself. Okay.
They all apply in this case. Let me take my own advice and cool the temperature in the room a little bit.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's about the incitement. It's not about what happened afterwards. That's actually the
I spit all over myself on a daily basis. You disgust me. Reminder, if someone wants me to spit and then send them my spit, I could fill up like a vial of some kind, and if you want me to send you my spit, that's fine. Just, you know, DM me for details. I'm willing to sell just about any bodily fluids. 69 likes. Can we get 690?
With incitement. Incitement it's a point in time, folks.
I don't like taking baths.
When the words are
Baths make me uncomfortable. I prefer showers.
Explicitly say, commit acts of violence or lawlessness. And we don't have that here. So for the House managers to say we need depositions about things that happened after, it's just not true.
But
if he does, there are a lot of depositions that need to be happening.
I'll take a bath, but I always shower off after. I can't! Jeff! Stop! Don't send your DNA around like that. Not good. Why not? Like, what could possibly go wrong?
None of these depositions.
Baths are only good if you shower after.
We didn't do this hearing by Zoom. These depositions should be done in person, in my office, in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
That's where they should be done.
And then this is where he gets laughed at.
I don't know how many civil lawyers. That's where they should be done. I don't know how many civil lawyers are here, but that's the way it works, folks.
Baths are good for leg shaving. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't shaved my legs in like a solid 8 months. I'm not leaving my house. I don't need to shave my fucking legs, bitch.
I don't know why you're laughing. It is civil process.
Ain't no one seeing anything.
The way lawyers do it. We send notices of deposition.
Yeah, I don't know. I might just turn the... I don't know what's happening. Like, should I just turn the straight level? Like, I don't... What is this?
Chamber during these proceedings.
I haven't laughed at any of you.
Definitely shower after. Oh my god.
He mentioned my client coming in to testify. That is not the way it's done. If he wanted to talk
You shower before you bath? Oh my god.
slap subpoenas on a good number of people. If witnesses are what is required here for them to
Yo, Virgus.
case back in order.
Hairy legs on pretty girls turns me on. Oh my god, yo.
There is no jurisdiction.
I haven't either. Not shaved and it's awesome. May never shave again. I don't know. I like being smooth.
Completely violated and ignored.
Are you talking about yourself, Thorn? Because yeah, I was super into that shit for like my first 2 years too. But then the pandemic hit and it's like, the pandemic was like, all right, fuck it.
This is about nothing else.
Whatever.
It's about the respect of our country, our constitution, and all of the people.
First of all, I'm not leaving the house. Second of all, even if I did leave the house, I'm gonna wear fucking pants. Like, no one's gonna see my bare legs. Why would I it's just extra work. And then it's going through like shaving butter. It's going through razor blades. It's a waste of money for me to do this. Like, if I want to feel good, I'm gonna do this motion on other body parts. You know, I'm not gonna do them on my legs. Like, come on, man. It's a waste of money.
Now is the time to end this. Now is the time to hear the closing arguments. Now is the time to vote your conscience.
Economical.
Thank you.
Mr. Askin?
Hell yeah, Thorn. It's the best shit, I tell you. It's the best shit.
And I have no further comment. Thank you.
I have no idea what the fuck is happening right now. Georgia prosecutors launched criminal inquiry into Trump's effort to overturn the election. They will look into the phone call in which Trump begged Georgia Secretary of State to reverse Joe Biden's... Yep.
Would remind.
Use an electric shaver? An electric shaver in a bathtub? That scares the shit out of me.
January 21st, 2020.
I've never tried an electric shaver. I'm just scared of the concept of putting it next to water. Unless you're supposed to do it dry? I don't know how that works.
Must refrain from using language that is not conducive to civil discourse.
Are you talking to me, Felix?
I listened to Chief Justice Roberts say
What a bunch of clowns!
agreed with him.
They're waterproof? How did I not know this?
Colleagues, I would repeat it.
How did I not know this? Can you get like all the way down? Is it like a smooth and clean one, or is it like, you know, making it, you know, I don't know. I've only just used regular razor blades. Do a good all above it all news segment. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to. I mean, it's Saturday, right? Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Any motion to subpoena witnesses or documents.
I use it for ... long hair. Oh no!
The yeas and nays has been made. Is there a sufficient second? There appears to be there is. The clerk will call the roll.
The presiding officer, Senator Patrick Leahy, from earlier this morning, calling for a vote on...
Massive earthquake hit Japan today. That sucks.
Now, right now, negotiations are happening. It looks like on the floor perhaps and behind the scenes, as to what the Senate
Behind the
does
scenes.
next. While we wait
I can't imagine wasting hours of my life to shave my damn legs. I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, in certain contexts, you know what I'm saying?
thoughts this morning. Should there be witnesses? Who should be questioned?
But a pandemic, you know, it's just a waste of your fucking time.
748-8921. Democrats 202-748-8920. All others 202-748-8922. You can join us on Twitter at C-SPAN, or you can go to Facebook.com.
What's up, Jeremy?
And post your comments there. We'll go to Bob, who's in New Ipswich, New Hampshire. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
Do you think witnesses should be called?
Actually, I don't. I think they should not be called. I don't think that the House did their job.
Oh, here we go.
With a 2-hour debate, an hour for each side, and no witnesses, no due process or anything like that. I don't think that they did their job, and I only think that the House wants witnesses now, which is a hearsay witness, to be honest. I just don't think that it's right. They didn't do their job. They were losing, and now they want to change the rules once again. Typically, is what they always do. It's just wrong. It's unconstitutional in my eyes.
So, Bob, you're saying what is hearsay witness? By what witness would it be hearsay?
I was under the impression that it was from a report from CNN. The witness a conversation that was had with Senator McCarthy.
Right.
But it was through another person.
Right. So let me clarify. Let me.
Should I call C-SPAN?
CNN reported.
What do y'all
Jimmy
think?
Dingell broke the story yesterday.
Should I just start like dialing in on C-SPAN? Maybe I will.
For the day. The story broke by CNN.
Am I a Democrat or am I an other? I don't know.
One Republican. She had other sources.
What do y'all think? Am I a Democrat or am I an other?
From the minority leader Kevin McCarthy about a phone call.
I might be an other. I don't know. Am I a Democrat or an other? I think I'm an other.
While the attack was happening.
I don't know. I'll just do the same thing I pick on gender questions. Other.
From these lawmakers who heard from the minority leader about his phone conversation, quote, he says the president said to him, quote, well, Kevin, I guess these people are more upset.
I'm not going to call C-SPAN. I'm not going to call C-SPAN.
According to lawmakers who were briefed on the call.
It's not worth it. I don't want to sit here like this. I don't want to sit here like this and listen to it on the... I'm not calling C-SPAN. That's a waste of my fucking time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Is not new. She put out a statement last night saying, since I publicly announced...
The biggest quake we've had in 100 years was the 7.0 Ioma Prieta, which lasted 17 seconds. The 1906 quake in San Francisco is 10 times stronger and lasted a minute and a half. We are due for another huge one. Do it for content, speakerphone. I really hate calling into talk shows. I mean, I don't really even understand how to explain.
I shared it with thousands of residents, she says, on my telephone town hall on February 8th. Now, I'll read the last part of her statement for you. She says this, to the patriots who were standing next to the former president as these conversations were happening, or even to the former vice president, if you have something to add here, now
You should definitely call
Bob,
it.
after hearing that, what do you think?
I shouldn't have brought it up.
It should have been brought up before the closing of the trial yesterday.
Why the hell not? I don't like phones. I don't like phones. I don't like waiting on the phone. Doing so on a stream just seems like something I don't want to do.
Once again, it's hearsay.
I'll cover the Don Jr. vid. I'll cover the Don Jr. vid. Hold up. I got it. I got the vid. I'll cover it. The Don Jr. video. Do a good old-fashioned news segment. Though, I don't have my timer open, so I'm gonna have to fuck my own ass editing this shit. But you know, I do that typically without the necessary context, regardless. All right. So there is a bizarre video circulating, within the deep confines of the internet, and it appears to show a very unwell Donald Trump Jr., someone who's probably not feeling too well. And what I want to highlight here is the idea that Don Jr. is perpetually trying to do a Don Sr. impression. And this is something that I find tremendous because he tries and fails to sound like his father and just sounds like an idiot. But anyway, let's watch.
We're going to talk about the fine people hoax.
Like he sounds like a bad impression of his own father. Like it's just.
We're going to talk about the fine people hoax. Today, they finally did it. My father's impeachment defense team for hoax impeachment.
What is that? He's my father's impeachment. Like, my father's impeachment. Why is he speaking like that? What the?
They finally did it. My father's
impeachment
team for the hoax impeachment part 2. You know, the thing that started prior to the inauguration in 2016 that the Democrats have been pushing forever. Well, my father's defense...
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Oh my God.
They finally aired the footage for the hoax impeachment part 2. You know, the
Part
thing that started prior to the inauguration in 2016 that the Democrats have been pushing forever. Well, my father's defense team finally aired the footage of the Charlottesville fine people hoax quote. And what you saw the other day with the Democrats, not were they just only putting fake blue check marks on tweets to make it seem like they were official and lying and total misinformation. What they do is they selectively cherry pick
news,
certain things.
folks.
I always say
Fake news.
They stop the sentence at the comma, not at the period. But today, and you'll watch the video in a few seconds, my father's legal team finally played the full video where you see him condemning white supremacists. Where you see literally in the same see him condemning white supremacists. Where you see literally in my father's legal team finally played the full video where you see him condemning white supremacists. Where you played the full video where you see him condemning white supremacists. Where you see literally in the same breath he goes into the details of how they're despicable people. But you've never seen that yet. No one's actually aired that.
So like the original press conference that was aired on TV on the day of, that just never aired. So of course what this is the Charlottesville hoax is what this is. So the idea that there were, quote, very fine people like in the crowd of neo-Nazis chanting "Jews will not replace us." I'm sorry, it's ludicrous. It's ludicrous, right? The idea that you're going to say that there were some very fine people means that what you're trying to do is you're trying to drive a wedge and say, oh no, fuck the neo-Nazis, but they're all not neo-Nazis, and that way you get people further into the alt-right pipeline, because they say, oh, I was there, but Trump's not talking about me. Or, you know, my brother said he was at the Charlottesville rally, but, you know, my brother's, you know, he's not a Nazi, he's not crazy. And then, you know, newsflash, you know, but... So that's what this whole thing is. It's the idea that, oh yeah, no, they're not all neo-Nazis. No way. My father.
Never seen that yet. No one's actually aired that. They let him say fine people when he's talking about historians that want to preserve monuments. It's very
historians want to preserve. They're historians. Famously, historians, right? They don't write things in books. Fuck that. They don't like use the internet and type things on like, you know, Wikipedia or peer-reviewed historical studies or analyses. No. We all know that history, right, is only recorded in the form of statues. There's no other way. There's no oral history. There's no written history. There's no digital history. There's no video history. No. It's all just in the form of statues.
He makes that very clear in a multiple-minute Q&A afterwards, delineating it, condemning white supremacy yet again, and again, and again.
But the problem is, when you say, I condemn white supremacy, and then 3.5 years later say, Proud Boys, stand back and stand by...
We're gonna take the full video where you see him condemning white supremacists. Condemning white supremacists. Condemning white supremacists. Condemning white supremacists. Hey, they finally did it. My father's impeachment
I'm sorry, it's just like, it's so oh, it's so funny. It's so fucking funny.
For clarification, but was just everybody's headline is carrying that. It sounds like they voted to debate whether there is going to be witnesses, and I was just curious if that in fact is what they voted on, or what everybody's headline is.
No problem.
Yeah, that's interesting,
thanks.
George. Well, let me read from Marty Paone. I think I'm saying his name right. His Twitter handle is Senate Floor Fan. As we watch Senator Dianne Feinstein and Senator Grassley make their way back to their offices. So Marty Paone worked on the Senate floor for 29 years for 4 different leaders, and he advised them on parliamentary procedure. He tweeted out this morning after watching what just happened, they will suspend the trial while witnesses are being deposed. See Clinton trial, for example, he says. During that time, the Senate can act on the COVID relief reconciliation bill. He also put this tweet out. A resolution, probably offered by Majority Leader Schumer, will be called up on what witnesses are to be called and deposed off-site. So what witnesses are to be called and deposed off-site? Senator Graham or a White House lawyer can offer amendments to add other witnesses. Speaker Pelosi, the D.C. mayor, etc. Some may be agreed to, others will be voted down.
I'm on the call.
And remember, the Democrats have the majority. We'll go, George, what do you think now after hearing that?
I think it's blah, 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 and they asked for, one person asked for clarification on exactly what they had just voted on, and they said it was debate, which he was looking for a clarification. I'm looking for a report on exactly what they voted on, okay? And what I'm hearing, and it's hard to hear it, but it doesn't sound like they voted to allow witnesses. They voted to allow debate on whether they will have witnesses, and I'm just curious if that's in fact what happened or not. What did they actually vote on when somebody has to stand up after the fact and want to...
Anyway, y'all, Senate in recess until 12:30. I'm going to be honest. I was originally planning on doing something else today. I'm not sure if that's still going to happen. So I do have my day open. Clip what? The blah, blah, blah thing? Will, are you like actually on the call? Like should I like get up to the live? Like, are you joking?
If they vote to subpoena a witness, then trial will slow down dramatically. They may need to recess and find time to depose her. Manu Raju says 3. Then after the deposition, the chamber would need to set new guidelines on what to do with the Senate testimony that derives from the witness. Let's go to Herman in Sophia, West Virginia.
You trolled me? Anyway, I was originally planning on doing other stuff today. I don't know if I'm going to, it depends. Like, maybe. Do y'all really want me to do it? Because I'll do it if y'all really want me to do it. Like, if I can get, like, you know, an overwhelming show of support for me sitting here like a dumb fuck and streaming the impeachment. However, again, I will not be back at 12:30. If I do stream it, it will be maybe at like 2, maybe 2:30, so that I can skip the bullshit. So understand that if that's okay with y'all. But I did have other plans today, but they you know, that's been rescheduled. So my day is open for the most part. Billiard ass motherfucking Dilliard. Do whatever. Alright, I'll deliberate over the next couple of hours. Again, I was originally going to have a guest on today, so, you know, unfortunately that fell through because of technical issues. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'll deliberate, I'll think. I'll keep y'all posted. If you're not in my Discord server, first of all, fuck you. Second of all, join the fucking Discord server. So I'm going to post that in there. And so I'll let y'all know what I'm feeling. And yeah, so reports from NBC that Trump is worried that he might be called as a witness. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Imagine Donald Trump having to say that he won the election under penalty of perjury. I won this election by a lot. And then they just drag him out in handcuffs. But yeah, so thank you, JL, $10 super chat. I appreciate. Too much. I'm getting too much. But yeah, so again, I'll keep y'all posted. I would love to see Hunter Biden as a witness, just because why not? But yeah, I'm gonna go enjoy my life for a little bit. I'm going to go live, you know, something that I don't get to do often these days. With, oh my God, Philadelphia is trending on Twitter. Philadelphia is trending on Twitter. God, that's amazing. Watch. Laughter breaks out in the Senate chamber after Trump attorney Michael Van der Veen insists that any impeachment trial depositions should be done in person in his office. In Philadelphia. In Philadelphia. Ryan Grimm has a legendary tweet. I just want to highlight Ryan Grimm's legendary tweet. Maybe they're laughing because he said Philadelphia. He clearly wanted to just say Philly, then remembered he was on the Senate floor, so added Delphia to show respect to the august institution, which responded by laughing at him. Legendary tweet. That's amazing. But yeah, so again, I'll see y'all in a couple hours, maybe. And if not, I'll see y'all tomorrow morning, hopefully with a guest tomorrow, but we'll see. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, which means it's also Sunday, which means I will be doing Sunday Run Day. And because I have no Valentines this year, because, you know, we're in a pandemic and everyone's all across the world, I'm going to be doing video games. So that's basically the gist. If you want to give me money, right? If that's a thing, I know people have been doing it. I don't know why. I couldn't possibly understand as to why someone would ever do that. But if you want to give me money, this is your ability to do so. Now's the time. I would appreciate it. Yeah, so if anyone is in Philadelphia, be sure to hit me up. And y'all have a wonderful, absolutely beautiful rest of your day. And thank you all. Goodbye.
They felt pretty comfortable after day 2. In person, in my office, in Philadelphia.
Like this, and we will, I need water, help me, I need water, help. And he's right, this is on live television.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup for my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened.
Watch Hillary examine the terrain. Watch a campaign with the man Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine in the membrane.
They're not accountable to anyone. I get 10 to 12 million views a month, and they won't come out and address my progressive audience. They won't come out and address Bree's audience, or Katie's audience, or Justin Jackson, or you. They are not accountable to us. They're accountable to whoever the fuck themselves. Let's not kid ourselves. As Chris Hedges taught us a long time ago, the people attracted to politics are the most mediocre of people. They're not your friends. They are elected servants, and start fucking treating them that way.
I hear Brownie is seconding you in the background.
They're not your fucking friends. They're the people standing in between us and fucking healthcare. They're putting their fucking personal position ahead of that. Don't fucking forget that.
What are you talking about, Jimmy?
I'm talking about anybody who's a progressive in Congress who isn't endorsing hashtag the vote. All those motherfuckers who didn't show up today at our town hall. Every fucking one of them is selling you out and canceling you for their own personal gain.
The founder of the Proud Boys is a Fed. I don't think anybody was surprised by that at all. He looks like a narc. I mean, the Proud Boys I've been saying for a while. But they're clearly the same niggas as Antifa. Like Antifa and Proud Boys came out of nowhere with Trump. We're going to talk about that stuff on our Rock Paper.
And then they have cans of soup. Soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick. It's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup for my family. They're so innocent. This is soup for my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup. They had a very bad original concept.
No, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
Honestly, Sam, if I could just get this sentence out. We could talk about Jimmy Dore can go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
Get your words straight, Jack.
Good news is, for me, I'm here. The bad news for you is, I'm coming back.
Everybody digging my chili when I'm laying down? That is not true.